Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan with a Doom Eternal review and Doom news. Doom Eternal is set to release on November the 22nd, 2019, and I was lucky enough to get to play it at E3 this year. But I've been holding off on my early impressions review because I knew I was going to get to play it again this year at QuakeCon, and guess what? I did. So now I'm ready to give you my early impressions review of Doom Eternal. Now, there were a couple of reasons I wanted to wait to give you guys my review on Doom Eternal. One of those reasons, of course, was I wanted as much time with the game as possible before I gave my first impressions review. Now, let me just tell you, with my E3 time and my QuakeCon time, I believe I have had as much time with Doom Eternal as probably anyone other than those that are associated with the game. And let me explain why. At E3 this year, I got to play the game behind the scenes for an hour, and what a privilege that was. And really, there was probably enough right there to do a pretty good review. But I also got to play the game multiple times at the Bethesda booth, and also got to play the game multiple times at Xbox as well. So just at E3 alone, I probably had over 2 hours worth of gameplay of Doom Eternal. But as I said, I still wanted to play the game more, and I knew QuakeCon was coming. But that was not the only reason I wanted to wait on QuakeCon. I also wanted a little time to lapse so that I could wait and see if some of my first impressions were really true. Because, you know, sometimes when you first try something, you get really excited. And then the next time you go into it, it may be a little different. That was the reason, number two, that I wanted to play at QuakeCon, because I knew there would be a little time difference. So I got to play at E3, and I got to play at QuakeCon. So I've played the game quite a bit, and with a time difference in there. So with all that said, let's start the review of Doom Eternal. Number one, let me say that Doom Eternal did live up to all of my expectations. I am a fan of Doom, always have been a fan of Doom. I love the original Doom. Classic Doom is amazing. It is one of the greatest games of all time. It is, as the fans of this channel knows, the RPG that paved the way for all other RPGs. So with that out of the way, let's move on. Doom Eternal is Doom 2016 on steroids. Let's just get that out of the way as well. They didn't miss anything that Doom 2016 had. They didn't get anything wrong that they got right in Doom 2016, at least for what I played. And again, I have probably close to 3 hours in this game now. I will say this, I played on some of the harder levels at times, and I did die a lot. Y'all would be very proud or very disappointed in me, one or the other. Proud that I tried it on the hard levels, disappointed that I died a lot. One of the biggest new features, of course, is the hook and chain coming out of the bottom of the shotgun, which is absolutely amazing. I don't know why you'd want to play with any other gun, because that gun is super. I love it. But of course, you have to play with many guns in this game because they do not give you much ammo, which is one of the ways you have to play. You have to play very fast. You have to change guns very often in this game. If you've played Doom 2016, then you will know how to play Doom Eternal. Same type style, same type flow, and I almost said same type feel, but not quite, because that is really the main thing I want to get into, and really the main thing I want to center my review around, because it was the main thing I talked to the developers about. We got the chance to talk to the developers of Doom Eternal, and actually got a chance to talk to Marty Stratton. Marty Stratton is the executive producer for id Software and the lead developer on Doom Eternal. It was really cool that me and the Queen got to interview Marty and the devs. Well, we talked to them about my time playing the game. And I told them that back at E3, the first thing that I'd noticed, that Doom Eternal had a much more nostalgic feel than Doom 2016. For some reason, it kept pulling me back to the original Doom games in my mind. Even though there was no direct reference to the classic Doom, it just had that feel of a classic Doom game. And both the devs and Marty both said, "You got it. You got exactly what we were going for." Now, what is really cool about this is 3 different devs and Marty, all with different conversations. And I talked to them each separately, and they all said the same thing, that this was exactly what they were going after. Doom Eternal definitely has that nostalgic feel. It just brings that classic Doom feeling. If you've ever played the original Doom, you're going to get that feeling while playing Doom Eternal. If any of you watched the Doom panel from QuakeCon, you might know why Doom Eternal has that classic feel. The developers are all classic Doom guys. They love the game. In fact, they constantly go back and play the classics all the time. And they make sure they know the classic game inside and out. And they make sure that they are staying true to the classic game. In other words, they don't add anything to Doom Eternal that goes against the classic Doom. They use the original Doom and Doom 2 as a place to go study, not only for new game ideas, but to refine old game ideas and make sure that everything that they are doing is correct and lines up with the lore of Doom. Yes, Doom has lore, and these guys make sure that they stay true to that lore. Doom 2016 was full of Easter eggs from the old classic games, like you would stumble on the old levels even of the original games. Well, I can guarantee you, without giving anything away, that you will probably stumble on some Easter eggs from the classic Doom games as well in Doom Eternal. But again, that's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about just the overall feel without anything from the classic game at all. It just has that Doom feel more than the 2016 game had. I love the feeling that this game has from the very start of the game. Now, this game is also jam-packed with new weapons and new enemies. It also has some new goodies as far as new multiplayer things that they have added as well. So if you are looking for some new adventures in Doom, then look to Doom Eternal. It is coming out this November 22nd. Doom Eternal looks to take the huge success of Doom 2016 and take it to another level. Alright, let me give you a few specifics of the gameplay. If you've never played Doom 2016, number one, it is fast. It is probably the fastest game I have ever played. If you thought Doom 2016 was fast, well, this is just as fast, if not faster. But it is probably the fastest game that you will ever play. Also, the gunplay is the smoothest gunplay. It is some of the best first-person shooting that is on the market. But you better get good at switching between weapons, and it is knowing which weapon to use for which enemy. Also, it's not a story-driven game. It is a level-driven game, even though there is a story. I also noticed that there are more puzzles in Doom Eternal than there was in Doom 2016. And when I say puzzles, I'm talking about the obstacles that you have to go through with your character. And of course, there are some things that you have to solve, but the more obstacle-based puzzles that you have to solve with your character. It seems like there are more of those in Doom Eternal than there were in Doom 2016. Also, I believe there's going to be more boss fights in Doom Eternal than there were in Doom 2016 as well. All in all, Doom Eternal is a fast, frenetic, bloody, fierce, amazing, brutal, you pick the adjective, but it is a wonderful game that, yes, I would recommend to anyone that loves a good first-person shooter. You cannot get a better first-person shooter than Doom. Now, I teased at the front of the video that there would be some Doom news, and there is. At QuakeCon, they also announced that the classic Doom games are now being released on Switch, on console, and on PC, and they are priced to move. Doom 2 are both $4.99 a piece on Switch, on PC, and on console. If you have never played Doom or Doom 2, please, on recommendation of the KingFanMan, get them and play them. There is no excuse. Doom is the game that started the modern gaming craze. Get it and play it. It is amazing. I've gotten it on the Switch, I've gotten it on the PC, and yes, of course I've played it on console. So get it and play it. It's $4.99. Get it today. Yes, you can get it and download it right now. Get it. Also, you can get Doom 3 for $9.99. So Bethesda has been so awesome bringing Doom to the masses. So while we wait on Doom Eternal, we can play Doom right now, whether it's on the Switch, on the PC, or on the consoles. So get them right now. You can get Doom 1, Doom 2, and Doom 3 on whatever device you have. Get it right now. Guys, I take these reviews very seriously. That's why I wait until after QuakeCon to release this video on Doom Eternal and my review. And I can say with absolute certainty that I fully recommend Doom Eternal. So when it releases on November the 22nd, it has my full stamp of approval. I thank you guys for watching. I am the KingFanMan, and I will see you guys very soon.